Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Today I have got a new video which is going to be a should you shop at Bicester Village or should you shop at London Designer Outlet. If you've not watched my last two videos, I have done Come Shop With Me's at both of those outlet centres, Bicester Village and London Designer Outlet, which is in Wembley, and you can see a good selection of what they've got, and I'll be including clips in this video, but I thought it would be quite a nice, good, we shall see, idea to do a comparison between both of the outlet centres. If you're a visitor to London, you might think, which one should I go to? Because Wembley is obviously a lot closer to London than Bicester. So I'm going to be going through several topics, like how far away and how long it takes to get to both of the places, what stores they have, what is best for what type of shopping, and which one I recommend going to. So, London Designer Outlet I have been to a few times, and Bicester Village I literally go religiously. If you have watched any of my videos in the past, I do a Bicester Village video, Come Shop With Me, basically every month because it's quite close to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first tell you where they're located, so I might put up a screenshot of where that is. So London Designer Outlet is located in Wembley, right in Wembley Park, right next to Wembley Stadium. So to drive from Marylebone Station, we're going to use that as our central London kind of area because that is where Bicester Village, the train terminates. To get to Wembley, if you were to get a taxi or something, it would take you 36 minutes. You can get a Chiltern Railways train to Wembley Stadium from London Marylebone, and that will take you 20 minutes. And you can also walk to Baker Street, get on the Met line, Metropolitan line, and get to Wembley Park, which will take you 34 minutes. So they will also have obviously cost implications. Taxi is obviously going to be more expensive. The Chiltern line might be more expensive as well. I don't know the costs exactly. And then the Met line, depending on whether you've got an Oyster card or just use your actual bank card, will be cheaper. I am now going to do the comparison between using again Marylebone Station as our central point for central London if you are based in central London, and this is kind of what this video is about. Obviously it's going to be more in rush hour, but I'm going to put departing on Friday morning. So we'll depart at, let's say, 8 o'clock. It is going to take you between 1 hour and 5 and 1 hour 40 minutes to drive. Train wise, you can get a direct train from London Marylebone on Chiltern Railways, and that will take you 54 minutes. So, depending on what you want to do, obviously Wembley London Designer Outlet is closer to central London, and Bicester Village is further away and will obviously cost you more money to get there as well. So in terms of distance from central London, Wembley obviously wins, but it's only 25 minutes more realistically to get to Bicester Village. So in terms of what is available at both of these places, you might be disappointed probably if you've not looked beforehand, which you probably should, or look at this video, if you were going to go to London Designer Outlet and expecting a designer outlet experience. I would say, so London Designer Outlet at Wembley is small. There is not that many shops really. I'd say there's around 50, if that, and they are going to be more high street to brand name kind of stores. So you're going to have your Levi's and you're going to have Guess and Superdry and stuff like that, as well as high street brands like M&S Outlet, Next Outlet as well. You've got sportswear brands such as Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Puma, North Face, Asics and stuff like that. And the top end brands that you'll find there are Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger and Guess, really. They're the brands that you are going to find at London Designer Outlet. So I would say designer is a loose term there, but if you are looking at more high-end brands, Bicester Village definitely wins you like hands down basically, because you have the top high-end brands there like Gucci, Dior, Prada, Burberry. Literally, the list is endless. There is well over 100 shops at Bicester Village, and you have those top designer brands which I just mentioned, but you do also have some lower end ones, like you are going to find Levi's, Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, North Face, all there as well as things like that are lower price points, although not super low. So you've got Superdry, which again was at London Designer Outlet, The White Company, Rituals, Barber, and All Saints, and brands like that. But you aren't going to find the brands like Next and more high street brands. So Next, M&S, and what else is there? Like June and stuff were at London Designer Outlet. So in terms of that, there is a lot more options for stores and things, and in terms of price points, Bicester Village is here, London Designer Outlet is probably there. In terms of restaurants and cafes, Wembley wins hands down. Bicester has never been good at this, really. You have a handful of restaurants. You have Farm Shop. You have a new pasta Italian restaurant, which I can't remember the name of the top of my head. You have the Wolsey. You have an Asian-style Japanese restaurant, and you also have lots of kiosks, as well as Itsu and Pret, and lots of kiosks throughout the village. But whereas at Wembley, you have a lot of chain restaurants. You have Nando's, Pizza Express, ZZ, Frankie and Benny's, all that type of stuff, as well as Costa, Starbucks, Pret, and that type of thing. So if you like chain food restaurants, Wembley is going to win hands down. The variety of food available at Bicester Village is lacking and has always been not great, in my opinion. They have always not had the best restaurants there. They used to have a Carluccio's, that is gone, and back in the day, literally Carluccio's and Pret, and they used to have a Starbucks, were the only places that you could get food. Now you have a few more options, and they've opened a lot more kiosks, but you have not got that variety of Wembley. And again, Wembley is in a big central area, so there is a lot more choice. If you do want like more coffee shops and stuff like that, and even a lower price option, at Bicester Village, you do have a Starbucks drive-through across the road. You have a Costa in the Next across the road. You have an M&S Food and a Boots across the road as well. You also have a Burger King drive-through if you want a lower cost option, and you also have a pub called the Acorn, which I believe is part of the Hungry House group, like Hungry House brand of pubs. And you also have a McDonald's and a Tesco's across the road as well. So you have that outside of the village, but Wembley wins hands down in terms of what is in the village. In terms of reward schemes, Bicester wins hands down by this, because I've been to Wembley recently and I looked into it, and they do not really have a scheme. They do have a scheme, but it's all based on, I believe, how much you spend throughout a certain period. If I'm wrong, let me know down below. And you're meant to scan something. I think you have to download an app and scan something, but I did not get what I was. I didn't get an email. I was meant to get an email, but that didn't happen. Bicester Village have a really good membership scheme where throughout the year they held private sales. I would say these are between 3 and 4 times a year. There is one currently on at the moment, until I will get it up, because they have an app, I believe. Yes, so it runs from the 1st of April to the 2nd of May. These private sales are normally a month long, and you can get so you can enjoy up to additional 20% off the village price on stuff. On the village price. If there's an additional sale, you probably can't get that off on there. And stores do have offers throughout the year as well. There is also Bicester Village membership also offer discounts on other things, and also other kind of rewards as well, but you need to download an app for it, and you get like a QR code to scan. So in terms of that kind of thing, Bicester is really good at that. When I tried to look into the Wembley one and when I tried to download it the other day, it wasn't that great, unfortunately. So we've covered the distance, we've covered the brands, we've covered the membership. So what are my final thoughts? If you are looking for a proper designer outlet, I would say obviously Bicester. It's 50 to 55 minutes on the train from central London. The ticket of that would vary, the ticket price of that will vary depending on if you have a rail card and what day of the week it is and what time it is and how far in advance you'll book. If you want to stay in London, Wembley is an okay option if you're looking for brands that aren't high end. And you want like kind of some British brands, like high street brands, as well as you've got Levi's, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Guess, and Superdry. They're the top brands that you're going to find there, as well as a lint shop. I forgot to mention that earlier. That is one thing that Bicester does not have, is a lint store where you can do lint or pick and mix. But yeah, in terms of the brands, if you're looking for a high-end option, designer prices, Bicester Village is great for that. You can get some really good deals on things, and depending on what time you go, some stores do additional sales and things like that. I've seen additional sales in Burberry and Gucci, and a lot of the other stores do them as well, like New Balance, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. They all have sales within the sales at certain points throughout the year. They might not always be there when you're going, and I know Boss do that as well as a lot of the other brands as well. So I would recommend, Bicester has always had a place in my heart. I've been going to it since I was literally born. My mum used to take me every summer. We always used to go there to the Clark's outlet, which is one that both of the outlet centres have, but they've always had a Clark's at Bicester Village, and I always used to go there at the end of summer to get my school shoes. So I've been going to Bicester Village for literally 20 plus years, and I've seen it expand and grow throughout everything really. It has got a place in my heart. I would recommend it. In terms, I would say Bicester Village does get very busy, especially at weekends. If you're going by car and you're going at a weekend, if you do not get there, like when it opens at 9, you expect to park in an overflow and get a bus. I don't know about Wembley. They do have a car park which I think is very expensive, whereas Bicester Village has a free car park, and if you do have to go to the overflow and get the bus, that is obviously free as well. But Wembley is obviously commuting. I would say if you're going on a match day to Wembley, you probably want to avoid that. Don't do that, because it will get very, very, very busy around the Wembley area if there is a match or an event at Wembley Stadium or Wembley Arena. So that is something to watch. You might want to look at that before you travel. But I personally would recommend going to Bicester Village because it is just a great experience to have a wander around. It's a nice open air, it's very aesthetically pleasing, great for Instagram, which you're not going to get that at London Designer Outlet. And even if you go and have a wander around the shops to go to Pret, I think it's really nice, a nice atmosphere. The smell has gone. They used to have a horrible smell down at one end of the village that was really off-putting. I think it was either through the drains or from a farm. They had that for years. That was really disgusting. On the last few visits I've been, I have not smelt that, so that is good. But yeah, they are my recommendations and my Bicester Village versus London Designer Outlet. Let me know down below if you agree with my opinion and what you would select. I know in London itself now there is another outlet at Greenwich, which I have not been to. It's Icon at O2, at the O2 in Greenwich, and you also have other ones dotted around London as well, which might be more accessible to you, like Ashford and Braintree, which I also have not been to. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're not already, please subscribe. It is free. I do a lot more Bicester Village videos as well, so definitely subscribe for those, and they come out at least once a month. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already, please subscribe. Follow my Instagrams, which are always linked down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.